Anyone who knows me really well knows that I can talk about poop. And it's kind of a weird thing that happens with me that other people will talk to me about poop because I have no problems talking about it. And so I am going to embrace that in this video. Why? Because tomorrow I'm having my first surgery ever. I am having asshole surgery. That's right, asshole surgery. The technical term is fissurectomy plus hemorrhoidectomy, though technically they're not removing a hemorrhoid, plus Botox. But what officially is happening is I have a chronic anal fissure, and anyone who's had one knows how awful they can feel. It's like pooping broken glass. So what's happened with me is that I've had some serious problems with constipation in the past, and passing some of that has been absolutely torturous and agonizing and traumatic to the structures down there, including my anus, I'll use the technical term, but my asshole. One or all of the 3 incidences that have gone on my calendar as some of the worst pain ever. I'm sure one of those moments are responsible for this fissure that I've had now. And I've had it for 8 years, so that's been a long time dealing with this. And so what I'm pretty sure has happened from everything that I'm gleaning from what all the doctors have told me is that it's open and then maybe I gotta stop doing that motion. It's like cheeks. So a fissure has opened and has been open for a while. I don't know if it's ever actually officially healed. It doesn't bleed all the time, but the problem is that the tissue that's built up around it has now developed to the point that there is tissue that is starting to extend into the rectum and out. And so I have a pretty horrifying looking asshole. It's kind of Lovecraftian, to be honest. My Lovecraftian asshole has now finally gotten to the point that doctors are saying like, maybe we should do something about it. And because of the mass that they found and such, which is, I believe from what they told me, a mass of tissue, this procedure is going to what they call debride the tissue. They're going to cut out all of that tissue, as well as remove the tissue inside and out, which is what they refer to as a hemorrhoidectomy, even though officially no hemorrhoids are being removed, because that doesn't seem to be the issue. That is the primary procedure. Then they're going to Botox it in order to keep things nice and loose, not so loose that I'm pooping and farting myself, but it's going to keep things relaxed enough to promote healing so that things aren't too tight back there, which, by the way, as I've learned, people that are high-strung tend to have these problems a lot. So if you're high-strung out there, I get it. Apparently I'm high-strung, as if my videos on anxiety and pretty much all my videos haven't demonstrated. With that comes high tonality of the sphincter, which then leads to constipations, problems passing stuff, and fissures. Color me special. So why do I feel it's so important to tell everybody that I am going to have my asshole cut into like a Christmas ham, a vegan one in my case, and then Botox? Well, it's really important because I feel like the ability to talk about these things, it kind of goes along the same lines as talking about depression, talking about the negative feelings, talking about pain, and talking about suffering and some of the darker sides of our emotions. This is something that's so important. We are giant fluid-filled bags that are just nothing but like just water and just like slurries and blood and all kinds of fluids and fluid systems. Just a big bag of like bone and plumbing that's essentially keeping us alive and moving. Whenever our bodies malfunction, it usually involves some kind of fluid leakage. Something's coming out of some kind of orifice that's either already there or has been made. Like fluid retention is a huge part of survival for our bodies. And so we socially have somehow developed this whole like belief system of disgust based on probably the innate disgust that we have to be disgusted of certain things so that we don't go and get ourselves infected because we don't stay away from it and eat it or do something that's going to harm us. It's a survival thing to be disgusted. But we have socially elevated it to the point that then the people don't talk about it. And when it comes to stuff like this is a really bad move on our part. We need to talk about our poop. We need to talk about our vomit. We need to talk about bleeding. We need to talk about any type of leakage that's happening, because our brains have a great way of rationalizing things like, nah, it's fine, it's fine. Well, it's probably just this, and I don't have to worry about it. And I understand, because diagnoses can be very, very scary. But at the same time, early diagnosis can be life-saving, which is why I encourage everyone, if you're pooping blood, to go and get yourself checked out. The symptoms of colorectal cancer look very similar to the symptoms of hemorrhoids and fissures and such, and the only way you can really get that tested is to have a doctor help you out with that, especially with colon cancer on the rise and people getting colon cancer who have no family history of it. It's really important that you go and get this stuff checked. So if you are pooping blood, please go find out why. It's really, really important. So this is my public service announcement to the world, is get your asshole checked. And don't be afraid to find the people that you can talk to about your asshole. It's really important. A support system to have asshole talk, or any sort of orifice talk, and the stuff that comes out of it outside of your doctor, because we're too busy or sometimes too afraid or too anxious or just don't want to go see our doctors. But having people around that you can compare notes with, so that you might have a broader picture to say like, hey, maybe I should get that checked out. That's what I did, but I'm a hypochondriac. So talk about your assholes. Talk about it. Don't be afraid to talk about your poop. I love to talk about poop, and I love bringing people into that conversation. I am very glad to be having this surgery, because my quality of life is going to improve, because I'm not going to be afraid of having to pass stool and that it's going to feel like broken glass, or there's going to be a ton of blood afterwards, which is always very scary. My body has really claimed this month for me to take care of it in ways that I could not have predicted, such as this surgery. So I am glad for anyone who actually sees this, considering I haven't posted in so long. I doubt I'm on anyone's radar anymore, so maybe that's why I feel like I can be more candid, because I'm sure no one's gonna see this video. But for any of you guys that do and are still around, thank you so much for watching as usual. I love you guys, and I will definitely be posting again more. My recovery is gonna be like, I have like a whole day that I have to rest, which is not bad. It's in and out surgery. So I like one day of rest, but then like 5 days of not being able to move around at all, and like I have to like just walk is basically what I can do, but no strenuous activity, no heavy lifting. So I'm going to be really bored, which means I will probably be making more videos. And if that's what it takes finally to get me back on the editing dock, then great. Wow, that was a long outro. So I'm just going to get to it. Bye guys, I love you. Going to outro. So a fissure has opened in my... A fissure has opened...